Hi everybody, it's Nicole here from MS Planet Computer Training. I just wanted to go through with you today in Excel the feature of Freeze Panes. A lot of people find this a really useful tool, particularly when you've got a workbook with a lot of headings at the top but the data goes down quite a way in the columns. So you'll see with this particular file that I've got open, I've got some headings at the top here in reference to the colour jelly beans, and over on the far left hand side just the various weeks of the year, so we can see how many beans we've sold based on the colour and the week. So as I scroll down in this particular file, the problem is that when I get further down the bottom, I can't see what colour jelly bean is referenced by each of the columns because obviously I've lost sight of the headings. So Freeze Panes is a really great feature for that. Now there's three ways that you can actually freeze panes in Excel. The first one is to freeze just the top row, which in this case would just do the heading Red Hot Jelly Bean Company. So that's not really going to help me with the colour jelly beans. The second option you've got is that you can freeze just the first column, which will be good in this example where I can see the weeks, because eventually if I add a lot more colours to my jelly bean range and I eventually have to scroll over to the right, at least I'll be able to see what colour or what week I'm up to. But the problem is I still need to be able to see the colour jelly beans. So the other option that you've got available is to freeze panes based on selection. So what you've got to do is you've got to click on the cell based on where you need to freeze. Now, depending on which cell you have selected, Excel will freeze any row above that cell and any column to the left of that cell. So in this example, because I need to freeze the first three rows, I need to be somewhere on row 4, because as I said, it's going to freeze any row above that row. And I also want to be able to freeze the column A. So in this instance, I need to actually be on the cell B4. So if you have a look at that on the screen, you can see that because I'm on row 4, I'm going to freeze any row above that. And because I'm in column B, I'm going to freeze any column to the left of that. So once you've clicked on the cell where you need to freeze, you simply come up here to the View tab, and then over here click on the button Freeze Panes, and you can see you get those three options I mentioned just before. So freeze top row, freeze first column, but I actually want this one here, Freeze Panes, and you can see in the description it actually says to you based on current selection. So when I click on that, you may notice I get a thin black line at the intersection of that cell, so that now if I actually scroll down, I don't lose sight of the colour jelly beans at the top, which is perfect. And if I scroll eventually to the right hand side, because I'm adding more colour jelly beans in, I'm not going to lose sight of the weeks. So that's a really great feature, as I said, and a lot of people save their files and keep that on for as long as they need. If you do ever need to remove it, maybe that's just because you're readjusting your workbook, you can actually click on any cell for that, come back up to View, Freeze Panes, and you just simply click on Unfreeze Panes. Alright, so hopefully you find that a really useful tip. Thanks a lot. Bye.